Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Welcome back for another video. Today we're talking about bartering for silver in SHTF situations. But before we start this video, make sure to smash that thumbs up button to automatically be entered in my pop-up giveaways I will be doing from time to time. Also being a subscriber. So if you want to enter, just make sure to hit that like button. But anyways, we're talking about silver in SHTF survival apocalyptic situations. This all started from a very good email that someone sent me yesterday. So I'm going to keep his anonymity, but he talks about this is how he starts it off. He goes, "Hey Slayer, my first time I'm ever writing to you. I have a question you might be able to answer. I see many videos about collecting junk silver for SHTF situations, but it does not make sense to me. I can tell you that if SHTF occurred, I would not be trading cans of food for any silver. It seems to me that the barter items would be food, medical, water purification, ammunition, warm clothing, and shelter. It does not seem realistic to me that someone would give up or trade their irreplaceable survival items for a piece of silver. Do you agree to some extent? If not, why? All I can say is that if you want my food, you need to do better than a couple Morgans." And that is a great question. It's a really good conversation as well. So how I reply to, I'm going to read my response, but before I'm just going to kind of talk about why this is a good question, a good topic. I'm curious what you guys think, but if you look back to historical times, the only see in an SHTF situation, we can't really predict what's going to happen. All we can do is look at what history has done. And if you look at history, history repeats itself, the only asset that's always been deemed valuable as a form of currency or money is silver and gold. Silver has been traded for thousands upon thousands of years since the beginning of man. It's the only object, the only thing in the world that's ever been always used as a valuable trade, as currency. Obviously, people trade food, whatever. But as if you look at the one thing, the universal object, the universal asset that's always been traded as some form of value of a valuable, it's always been silver, because silver has so many uses, has so many benefits. It has intrinsic value, not like, just a random some whatever. Silver has it's real money because it's valuable in a currency form and in a beneficial form in the industrial world, and technological world. But anyways, I'm going to go into my response. I go a little deeper into this. So I respond saying, yes, you're right. I don't think it's realistic that silver would be a trade for essential items like food and water, but you have to remember silver has been traded for money traded for money for thousands upon thousands of years. And when situations were just as critical as an apocalyptic situation, in those situations there still has to be a means of currency, and that's always been silver. Now if you think about it, just I'm kind of going off, I'm kind of drifting away real quick. If you think about it, there still has to be a measurement of value in any situation. If we were to take away, if we were from the future and we look back at today's times, we would say, yeah, it would make sense just to trade food for food, or if you needed clothes or whatever. But that's not the case. We are desensitized. We are used to some form of a measurement style, form of value, how to accurately measure what something is worth in a monetary form. That's the best way I can word it. And we use that with money, with fiat currency. But in a SHTF situation, fiat currency, banks are closed, so there has to be a new measurement of value, and that would be precious metals. It always has been, whether it's, but anyways, I'm going to go back to I just wanted to kind of make a side point. But anyways, so I'm talking about, in those situations there still has to be a means of currency, and it's always been silver as far back as the Indians, etc. Also depends on how severe things are going down. If banks and fiat currency are closed, people will still have shelters, work on camps, etc., have jobs, and there still can be a means of trade where people can barter. And through history, since silver has such intrinsic value and it's very useful, even in SHTF situations, since it's the best performing metal for thermal conductivity and electricity, as well as medicine. There's colloidal silver in water purification, which silver is actually something you can use for water purification. So, if you think, so if you look at it like that, it has many actual survival uses. It makes more sense than any other thing to be the underlying form of valuable trade. Just like the pirates used it for trade, Indians, Egyptians, way back from cavemen, every culture throughout history has used silver. So I don't think it's going to randomly switch up in the future if the same type of situation arises. Um, So, anyways, I go on to say, Egyptians use it everywhere, saw gold and silver as real money since it has real value and always has since the beginning of man, and don't think that idea will ever change. Thanks for the question. It spurs a good video idea. And I said, I do understand your point, and I've thought long and hard about this. I've watched other videos, but as well, looking back at putting history gave me a better, looking back at seeing what history did gives me a better perspective around how it would realistically work. But obviously, you're not going to be trading your last piece of meat for a silver eagle. These are things where if you're trying to pay workers, barter with something that you don't know that is in between value, or like, because in SHTF situation there is levels of severity. I'm not saying I'm an expert at this, and I'm not saying SHTF will ever even happen, but you do have to prepare. I'm not going to be spending thousands of dollars on bunkers and all that, but you do need to be prepared, and that's probably a lot of how a lot of stackers started, or why a lot of stackers started buying silver, was for preparing in situations like this, since silver is such a good hedge. But if you're looking at the dollar collapsing, or even the government, the economy shutting down, silver is definitely the thing you need to be purchasing or stacking, and it does make sense. But when you're coming to essential survival items, silver is definitely a necessity. Just like if you watch any movie, play any video game, look at any historical chart, silver is always there. If you're playing a zombie game, you're not in a camp collecting money. It's always gold and silver. If you look at the pirate treasure days, it was silver and gold. It's always been that. Egyptians, if you watch any type of documentary on ancient Rome's or Mayans or anything, it's always been precious metals. It's always been valuable, and that shows that people see this as real value currency, and I don't think that's ever going to change because it is valuable for so many things. I cannot stress that enough, especially for how cheap it is nowadays as well. Obviously, the value could go up as the demand goes up. With a low supply, high demand, it shoots the price up. But anyways, what do you guys think about this? Prepping is we can never predict it. Obviously, like if it's an extreme dire situation where it's you're on your last leg of survival, then obviously, your mortgages aren't going to be as nowhere near as essential as food, water, shelter. Those are your three main things. But, if you are on a work camp or whatever the case is, we're just fantasizing about this, then there definitely would still be means of money in that world, in that type of atmosphere. There would have to be some type of tradable currency, and that definitely would be precious metals in my eyes. You wouldn't want to be trading food for food, clothes for clothes, because why would you trade clothes for more clothes if you already have the clothes? You have to buy. There has to be a way to buy things or trade things, exchange with amount of with a type of way to measure how much it's worth. How could you value how much that piece of clothing is worth without actual currency being in place? And that's the kind of idea I'm looking at it as. But yeah, so anyways, if you are looking at that, if you don't agree, that's perfectly fine. This is all a theory. But I definitely also think that if you are looking at silver for SHTF, then junk silver is definitely the way to go. Junk silver has many benefits. It's fractional, it's trusted, it's recognizable, it's government backed. If you have a whole bunch of 5, 10 ounce bars, it's going to be really hard to trade and exchange that for other items, especially because silver will be so valuable. So mercury dimes, quarters, half dollars will be perfect way to exchange little goods and here and there to barter with. And I think it will make things a lot easier, a lot smoother, and a lot safer to transact. Because if you go into silver, maybe it's poured silver or something that someone doesn't trust, it can be a very sticky situation. Especially, the last thing you want if you're going to barter with someone is them not trusting that your silver is real, or that you're trying to scam them. So definitely having recognizable, trusted silver that proves that it really is silver is a lot safer for yourself. And if you think about it as well, if you were in their shoes, if you wanted to trade with someone, they had some old poured bar that says 3 nines fine silver on it, but you have no idea if you don't have a testing kit, then there's a good you should automatically assume that you're gonna get ripped off. It's not that you should assume it's fake for your for your own conscience. So definitely is a level of a level of trust that you need to, or a level of a thought you need to do, but before you're buying these coins, on how you're going to sell them. Always talk about sell before think how you're going to sell before you buy. It will save yourself a lot of hassle and a lot of stress. It'll just make yourself a lot easier, you make your stack a lot more liquid and a lot easier, a lot safer for yourself. But anyways, just recapping, silver has always been deemed valuable for thousands of years, since the beginning of man. Looking back at history, it also does depend on how dire situation is, but I definitely think there's always going to be some type of measurement of exchange, or measurement of value within a monetary system, no matter if it's the end of the world or the times of today. But anyways, we are stacking for to preserve our wealth against hyperinflation as the dollar's collapsing. That's why a lot of us stack. A lot of people do fantasize about SHTF almost like they want it to happen, like it'd be fun. I don't think that would be the case. I also don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime. And if it does, it would be several years down the line. But who knows? Who knows? It's all theory. But we do have to prepare no matter what. It's always better to be prepared. So anyways, thanks for watching this video. What do you guys think? Make sure to comment down below what you guys think. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.